welcome back to my channel. My name is Shy Angel and I hope everybody is doing okay during this festive period. I hope those who celebrate Christmas had a nice Christmas, and I hope those who don't celebrate this year or find this year difficult were okay during this time and just had a restful period. Today we are going to reallocate the annual savings binder, cash and placeholders, as well as the money I saved in my normal savings challenge binder for my sinking funds into my envelopes, which is in these binders here. And then we're going to talk a little bit about my 2026 goals, but as we've got a lot to get through, let's get started. So this is the binder I've been working on all year, and I had challenged myself at the beginning of 2025 to save 5,000 plus. And I'm happy to say I have completed all of these challenges, which have amounted to 5,200, I think 45 was the last count. So we did the 2025 Friday saver from the Queen Bee Mix, and this saved us $8.50. And this should be in placeholders and in cash. So I don't like to keep a lot of money in the house, just because it's just very scary. And yeah, so a lot of this money is already in the bank, but we will reallocate it together. So that was $7.50, and this is from Kimberly Budget's 2025 saver that saved $8.40, I believe it was. So that was $7.50 in the bank, and then we have some money. I do know that the money in the envelopes is correct and all of the saving challenges have been completed correctly, and that's because I double checked on my last cash stuffing video, which was December week 3 and 4, so please check it out if you haven't seen that already. I would appreciate the engagement. Next we have Javan Budget's monthly savings. This is definitely one I will use again, but we saved $5.50 in there, $600 in total. Okay, so next we had Tenor Tuesday. I'm not quite sure who's that from. I think maybe Lily Rain Designs. I'm not quite sure. And that saved us $5.20, and that's $400 in the bank, and then $120 in cash. And then we did the treasure hunt from Miller Creations 1, and that saved us $700, so $600 in the bank, and then £700 and £100 in cash. Next we did New Year's savings. I'm not quite sure who's that from either, and we had saved $695. 500 in a placeholder, and then 195 in cash. Lastly, this was the mini savings challenge. I've taken the booklet out, and that saved us 1,040, but we have 800 in placeholders, and then I think 240 in cash. And this is where all my fives are. Okay, so that is everything, all the saving challenges in the binder done. I will be doing this binder again, but it will be done a little bit differently, and I will explain a little bit more about that when we get to the goals. But let us count this money just so you guys can see with the placeholders and the cash that we actually have, I think 5,245. So we have 800 plus 500, I'm hoping you guys can see this, plus 600 plus 400 plus 500 plus 50 plus 750 plus 750. So we have 4,350 in the bank, and that actually tallies with what I checked just before I started this video. So 4,350 in the bank. So let's see how much we have in cash. We have 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh, sorry, my mind wandered. I beg your pardon, guys. A lot's gone on recently, the last couple of weeks during Christmas. So yeah, my mind was wandering. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40. So that is 540. And I think I'm going to need to write this down. 540, just so I know what I'm taking back to the bank and what I'm not taking back to the bank. So 20s, 540, 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So 180. Okay. And then in fives, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. So 175 in fives plus 175, 245. And that is absolutely correct. So 175. So in total, we saved 5,245. And just to know that in cash, we are taking back 540 plus 180 plus 175, which is a total of 895 that we are taking back to the bank. So that was what the cash in the folders. So let us now reallocate this. So I'm going to take away all these placeholders and bring in some new placeholders. But because we are going to only put this money into, I think it's 4 places. So not a very long cash stuffing video. So it was 5245. Yeah, not a long cash stuffing video or reallocation video at the moment. 3,000 of this is going directly into staying in my bank, but going specifically for a new boiler for me. So if you've been here with me a while, you know that not only myself, but my mom had some boiler issues, and in 2024 or 2025, we got my mom a new boiler, and I was next on the list, but I haven't been saving for it. So I thought, let me get a big chunk for the boiler, my boiler, as every time I get my boiler service, I've been told I'm going to need a new one. And I've been quoted between 3,000 and 6,000. So I want to get the minimum, which is 3,000, set aside so I'm not worrying if my boiler breaks. And then I will build up to the 6,000. And if I don't use the 6,000, I reallocate it to any of my other goals for that year. So I want to have a minimum of 3,000, so I'm not worrying about it at all. So we're going to put 3,000 directly into the long-term binder. Let me get a placeholder. Where with you guys? Where is it? Okay, I got one. So here is the 3,000, and we are going to put it into the long-term binder, and we are going to put it into house. So this envelope has not been used, but I'm going to put this 3,000 into house, and it's going to be for my boiler. Now, I have been saving a little bit for this new boiler digitally through my digital sinking funds, and I have 200 in there. So I am going to find a 200 as well. Bear with me if I can find one. Hopefully I don't see my address. Oh, okay. All my placeholders. So, yep. So 200. Perfect. So 200 I've saved every year digitally because I set up a digital sinking fund. I thought I'd go slow and steady, but great boost that this annual saving challenge has given me. And so I'm just going to represent what is actually in there. I think for a while, I'm going to carry on saving like normal for the new boiler digitally, and then just adjust the placeholders. But I will give you a spoiler that the new boiler is carrying over as a goal for 2026. But 3,000 is going into there. So that's that. So we had 5,245 and we're minusing 3,000. So we have 2,245. So the 200 is going to go into one of my high priority envelopes that I've cashed off weekly, and it is South Africa. So a majority of this money is going to South Africa. So you guys know we support family financially in South Africa, and there was a tragedy this year and we went back to South Africa in May, and it really brought home kind of our family and financial obligations. A lot's going on, guys, in relation to family and the responsibilities and burdens. I'm going to use that word because it's lately felt like that slightly, that come for helping out family. But I'm going to put 200 into South Africa. I know me and my sister split the responsibilities between our family financial responsibilities, and I've just realised at the end of the year that it's just not sustainable. So I'm trying to save up some money to help my sister out. So we are going to do 200, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. I will go into this a little bit more during my goals. So it's 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. So that's 200 for South Africa. So now in South Africa we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh no. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 300, 350, 60, 70, 80, 90, 400, 410, 420. So 420 is South Africa. I'm not going to mark off the tracker. The next goal I'm setting for this envelope is 2,100, and that is to help my sister pay 6 months rent for a family member in South Africa, to give her a break. Yeah, to give her a break. So that is what I'm going to do, and that is going to translate into a goal for 2026 as well. So that is that. And next we come back to this long-term binder. So we took 200 out of there, so we have now 2,045. So the next 2,000, which is going to be represented in this placeholder, is going to go into miscellaneous, and this again relates to South Africa. So as I said, I've really thought about it and kind of come to the conclusion that it's just not sustainable how we are supporting family in South Africa at the moment, and that is to do with the accommodation rent. It's just not sustainable, especially as we've both got mortgages, me and my sister as well. We support my mum here as well. It's just, and cost of living is so high, it's just not sustainable. And not to kind of moan about it or anything, I now want to do something about it. And I think if we can get rid of that monthly rent payment that we have to send to South Africa, we would be better off financially. So I'm starting a new house deposit or house money to buy a house in South Africa. I don't know how it's going to work, but I have a figure in mind, and we're going to start it off with £2,000. I will go into more detail when we look at the goals for 2026. This is going to be a long term goal. It's not going to be a quick solution. It's not something we can do quickly unless we win the lottery. And guys, I'm trying to win the lottery to help us out here, but I do have a specific number in mind, and I am starting the journey. I'm starting the journey, and I'm the one starting the journey just because I have more disposable income in comparison to my sister and my mum. So I am going to start the journey. I'm sure that they will contribute as well. My sister currently pays, as I said, every month for the rent, and I'm going to help her with 6 months so she can get some money behind her. But she does not have a lot of disposable income. I'm not going into her finance or anything on my channel because that's very private in her, but when we discuss it as a family, that's what we've come to the conclusion of. So as I'm doing it, so £2,000 is going directly into miscellaneous, and that is for a house deposit, or house money for South Africa. I've got that as well, so I don't know if I should use that. We shall talk about that later. So that's £2,000, so that is a majority of the money cashed up. And I'm going to have a little old £45. I don't mind, guys, because I'd rather be financially stable, financially comfortable than I am now, and then my family is now, than worry about that I'm only allocating £45 of a lot of the money I've saved throughout the year. That was so stressful and frustrating and anxious, overwhelming to save, but that's fine. So I'm going to get 45, and I'm going to put that into shopping, because due to a not so great Christmas, I have been emotionally spending, and that again is due to family. So I'm going to put this into shopping, and it's going to probably go back to the bank. I bought a lot of savings challenges, a lot of things on Etsy. I had really bad FOMO from everybody's advent calendars. I was religiously watching Budget with Kerry's calendar present opening every day, and I totally regretted not getting a calendar when I said I would. So I went out and just bought them all. Not all of them, but all the challenges I really loved on Boxing Day when the shops were open. So yeah, I need to pay that money back. And I am going to try and pay that money back. But I will discuss that a little bit more in my cash stuffing for January week 1. But now that we have got there, so I had 895 in cash. I took 200 and I took 45. So there should be 650 here, and 650 is going back to the bank. So it's 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83. So that is 300. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So that is 180. There should be 170 in fives. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and that is correct. See, this is accurate. There's 650 going back to bank. I'm literally just going to put it in week 1. I'm going to probably use this for my cash stuffing for January week 1. Not all of it, but there's enough denominations here that I probably won't need to go to the bank. And let me just make a note of that quickly. Okay, so that is that reallocation. Next reallocation is from my savings binder, and this is the money, so let's count it. Lots to do today, guys. I hope you are still with me on my journey. Have been a lot of ups and downs in 2025, but I have achieved a lot that I am very, very proud of as well. And it's kind of really reflected in this last reallocation video for 2025. So I have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 94, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 96, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 96, 10, no, that's 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah, that is correctly 750 to reallocate. My mind is wandering again. I have such low attention span, guys. I'm really feeling slightly burnt out at the end of this year. I'm trying to rest as much as possible before I go back to work, but it's been hard. Okay, so 750, where are we going to put this? I do have an idea of where I'm going to put this, and we are going to go straight into sinking funds high priority. Going back to the good old South Africa envelope, and this is going to get 80. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80. We're going to count this again at the end. So we know that this was 420. Yeah, that's 420, 440, 460, 480, 500. 500 in there. That's a great start to the goal that I'm trying to achieve as soon as possible. Next, we come to house reno. House reno is going to get 100. I'm sure you guys probably know what the focus is going to be for 2026, just by some of these high priority envelopes. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So 1,500 and 20, 40, 60, 80, 6. 1,600. I am not going to bother colouring this in, but effectively I would say this is finished and we will start a new challenge in the new year. 1,600 is in house reno, and then we come to gadgets. Gadgets is getting 100 as well. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. Put this down. What am I doing? Let's see, that's 1,220, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 50, 410, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's 1,450 in gadgets. We can definitely cross off an 80. Do we have another 20? We do. We'll do that, the rest of that 40. So that's, yeah, so 100 in there, 1,450, creeping up to the 2,000 goal for a new tablet and phone. I've checked the sales, guys, and I do have some options, but I'm just hesitant to pull the trigger. I just don't know why. I just am. Next, we come to personal. Personal is going to get 100, and this is for laser hair removal. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I need to look at if there are any sales for this and start booking this in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So in total, we have 700. The goal is 800. So for the number of sessions I think I need. But the goal is 800. So only 100 more to go on that. That's fantastic. Next, we come to garden. So my lawnmower broke, so now I have a gardener. I don't know if that's sustainable in 2026, but for the first couple of cuttings, I'm going to put some money in there for, and it's 20 quid a go. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're going to do at least 2 goes in there for garden. I might need to look into buying a new lawnmower or the part. So that is everything in here. Next, we come to long-term binder. We are going to do 40 in investments because we still got to think about the future. little bit hard right now, but I need to keep going. I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's just tick off 4. 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's count. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 350, I think. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 93, yeah. 350. I am going to deposit that into my invest engine and buy some stocks for the end of the year. Next we come to occasions, and we are going to put into £40 for Mother's Day. Get a head start on this. And then we only have, I think that should be enough for Mother's Day, for my share anyway. And then we have Easter that we need to budget. Oh, we're budgeting for Easter as well. We're budgeting 40 quid for Easter. And those are the 2 occasions that are up and coming rather quickly that I don't have to worry about. I can focus and put my full effort into starting my goals for 2026. So yeah, Easter's done. Next we come to holiday, and that's getting 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is for the family holiday. And so yeah, I got so many trackers in here that I want to do. So we put 50 in, and now we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we will mark that off. It's 20, 20, 10. We are going to aim to start saving initially for the first 1,000. We're going to probably need a lot more, but yeah. Not so much a focus in 2020. No, we're not going on holiday in 2026, but we're saving for 2027. So yeah. Okay, so that is everything in the long-term binder. So now we have £5 for treat, and we had £50 for socialing. But we are going to put £55 back into shopping. Again, I used my credit card for my emotional spending. The only silver lining in how much I spent buying trackers to last me a lifetime is that it's on a credit card that is 0%. So I'm not gaining any interest, but I need to pay it off, and or at least make the minimum payments. So in shopping we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we have 100. Which is perfect. Oh, we need to add more. I have my sister's birthday's coming up, but I don't know if I want to budget for that. It's in March. Or do I want to pay? I'm going to put the £50 I was going to budget for my sister's birthday. 10, 15, 20, 30, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Into shopping, and then I think I want another 5 for spending. So there should be 55 here. So how much is this now? And this is where my 5s are. It's 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 155. How much is left? Because that is everything on my list. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Why isn't there an extra 50? Where does it go? Oh, my birthday. That's where it went. Okay, so this 50 comes to my birthday. Let's see. Let us do the 20, the 10. Let's do the 15s. Okay, let's go into shopping. Get some tenders. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not Charlie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This one, that's 2, so that's 30. And then let's get 20. Right, so this is now cashed off. Oh, that's heavy. With all those coins. So we have 50 to go into my birthday to help me along. Do I know what I'm doing, guys? I don't know. So we'll do this 20, that 15, that 15. Okay. Let's make sure all these are full. Is there one that actually only had, I think there's a 15 that only had a 10. Let's see. Yeah. So, I've marked this up. I need to take that out. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this in there. And I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to put this in here. I might bypass this. And I got one more 15. Yeah, there we go. All right, that worked. Okay. So now for my birthday, I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 90. So I think I'll be finished that in January. So that is £750 reallocated in the correct places, which I'm so relieved about. Thank you guys if you have been with me up to now. Now we'll quickly move over to look at what my goals are for 2026. So I'm just getting off my book with everything crashing to the side of me. So I have my trusty book here. Hopefully everybody can see it. Let us open it to the goals that we have set for. I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, okay, let's dive right into it. Probably going to see most of it, but we'll dive right into it. So we've got short-term and long-term goals, but overall the goals. We have house renovation. So I currently have 1,600 in savings. I want to save an overall goal of 3,000 to decorate the downstairs of my house. So that is living room, hallway, bathroom, and potentially kitchen and utility, if it can stretch that far. So my target saving for 2026 is 1,400, and this is the second highest priority on my list. I am going to put in some money from my salary every month, and then I'm going to do the save to sink method to get that to 1,400, and hopefully by the summertime I can get someone in to give me some quotes for painting and I can get that started. I don't technically need the full 3,000 to get started, I just would like to have a majority of it, so looking at just over 2,000 to start. So I'm almost there, so about 400, and then I can get some quotes in for spring summertime. So yeah, 1,400. Next is of course laser removal. I have actually now saved 700, not 600, 7. I want to save 8, so I only need to save 100, which is perfect. And there goes my placeholders. So yeah, so this is high priority number 3. It's up there because I have a majority of the money. I can start booking sessions in post New Year, so it's up there, and I want to get that started. That's a for me thing. That's a self-care for me, I think, that I really want to do for 2026. Next we have short-term goal 3, which is new phone and tablet. I've been working towards this all through 2025. I think I'm going to want to finally pull the trigger in 2026. I now have, was it 450? I now have 1,450. The target is 2,000. I need to save 550. That is doable. It may take me up to the summer, but I may get the devices cheaper when the new version comes out. I'm looking at Samsung. I'm a Samsung girl. I'm an Android girl. So when the new version comes out, the old version will drop in price slightly. So yeah, hopefully I can make some savings on this because this is a lot of money, but I'm hoping I can make some savings. Next is South Africa. So I've already talked about how I'm feeling about the financial responsibilities and burdens that we currently have taken on for my relative, not only this year but kind of since I was about, I'd say, 16, and I think in order for us to be financially stable, we need to do something big. But first I need to help my sister with the rent money that she sends. So target is to pay for 6 months of rent, which is 2,100. That may seem low, but remember guys, exchange rate. So the exchange rate works in our favor. This is the only reason we are able to help family in South Africa. So 2,100 is 6 months rent. I have 520, I believe. So I need like 1,580. This is priority number 1. I need to get this done as soon as possible to give to my sister so she can then get some money behind her. And get some relief, and then yeah, so this is priority number 1. I do this weekly. I'm going to do save to sink. It's like literally most of my money in the first half of the year I think is going to go to that. Next is holiday fund. So this is holiday fund for 2027 for a family holiday. This is high priority number 6. So not very high on the list, but I still want this ticking over in the background. I want to save 1,500 initially. This is not how much I need, but this is how much I would like to get to by the end of the year. So I need to save 1,400 because I've only got 100. So this is again gonna probably take me the entire year, and I may have to use some of the annual challenges that I'm going to save throughout the year to fund this, but I'm hoping to do this. Lastly, high priority number 5 is Christmas fund. So these are slightly out of order. Christmas fund, I have no savings for Christmas. We went over budget for Christmas, not technically our fault, lots of family things going on that made us go over budget, but I've upped the goal to 1,350 max for everything for Christmas. This will be just family Christmas food, but I think I need to add in a note here that this doesn't cover advent calendars. I'm getting an advent calendar, guys. I cannot stress. I'm getting advent calendars to get it out of my system, so I'll probably do a separate amount for that. But 1,350 for everything. I need to save 1,350. So this is going to be a goal I start in January. But yeah, that is Christmas. Then we come to long-term goals. So we come to number 7, you probably see some of them anyway, which is investments. I'm zeroing out my investments, drawing a line under 2025, and then setting a fresh goal for 2026, which is £1,000. So I need to save £1,000 throughout the year, but I'm going to add a plus again. I know I did that last time when I set a goal for 2025. But I realised I'm currently putting in £20 a week, and so by the end of the year I will have saved 1,040. So if I stay consistent, and consistency is key, and I think that's what I'm going to try and also maintain in 2026. If I'm consistent, I will reach this goal. I'm not stretching myself with this goal, but I think I'm stretching myself with other goals. So I've just put a plus in there, and I will achieve the plus because it'll be £40 over. But if anything extra can go into there, I would love it to go into there. Again, while I have financial responsibilities for family abroad, I still want to keep living. I still want to be planning for my future. I want to find that balance. I think I've kind of got that balance, but it's gone a bit skew with at the end of the year, and I'm really feeling kind of the pressure. I think the whole family's feeling the pressure. So I want to keep planning for my future, and investing is planning for my future. Next is another goal that is planning for my future and working towards being financially stable, which is mortgage overpayment. And this is the high priority goal 8. And I didn't do much saving in 2025 for mortgage overpayment. I did really well in 2024. It slacked off in 2025. I think only through the use of Roundups and Sprive, the app, that I managed to put like 29 quid onto as a mortgage payment for 2025, which is not good because it is one of my priorities and it will lead to financial stability in the future. So I want to set myself a goal of 800 plus. 800 is basically what I pay in interest. I know, guys, it's extortionate, but £800 is kind of the max I currently pay on interest on my mortgage. So I want to make an interest payment. So my monthly payment for that time goes straight towards the principal. So my goal is to save 800. I don't know if I'm going to save the entire 800 and then pay it off, or just pay it off in drips and drabs. I don't know what the best way to do it. I'm going to think about it, but ideally I'd like 800 plus. So I'm going to start this. I found that save to sync doesn't work for this goal because I always have other priorities that I need to save to sync for and that I cashed off first. This one, I'm always like, I'll get to it. And it becomes a low priority, and it really is not a low priority. It's like medium to high. So I'm going to two methods to reach this goal. I'm going to stuff this weekly, and then I am going to do the save to sync. Stuffing it weekly will keep reminding me that I need to achieve this goal. And then when I have money to reallocate, I will come to this goal and this envelope and stuff some money to achieve this goal. So that is how I'm going to achieve that. Next, giving away my age here. So I need to save up for my 40th birthday. My 40th birthday is not in 2026, guys. It is in 2028. Be a baby. I would like to do either a big holiday on my 40th birthday, or do a couple of big to medium to big things. So current thought is to road trip it across South America with my sister, or just do a holiday in South America and then get LASIK for my eyes. I wear glasses, so I would like to get LASIK for my 40th birthday in conjunction with a really nice holiday. I do have an overall goal of 10k for this, but for 2026 I would like to save 2,000 towards this overall goal. So 26, 2,000, 27, let's say another 8,000. I don't know how I'm going to get to that 10k, but I don't know what I want to do yet for the 40th, so I may not need the 10k. I just picked that number at random because I found a road trip, not really a road trip, like a round the world trip or tour of South America that totaled 10k which was Peru, Colombia, and Brazil. So I picked that number from there. But initially 2,000 for 2026. If I could do more, fab. If I can't, that is fine as well. Then new boiler. This is a topic that's on my mind every time my plumber comes or gas engineer comes to service the boiler. He's saying your boiler is 20 years old, you need to replace it. And he's given me a range 3 to 6. I've saved 3,000 as you've just seen, but I'm going to add 1,000 in 2026. This goal is not really stressful for me anymore because I have the minimum. It's going to be a gentle savings method for this 1,000. It may be I allocate this 1,000 at the end of the year. It may be that I calculate how much I've saved digitally to how much I need to save in cash. I actually have 3,200. So it's not 3,000 because if you count what's saved digitally, it's 200. So really, this is 800. If I want 4,000 by the end of the year, this is really 800, which is fantastic. Okay, that makes it more doable. So yeah, so I basically want to have 4,000 by the end of 2026. Fingers crossed my boiler lasts another year. And then the overall goal is 6,000. If I don't need 6,000 for a new boiler, I will reallocate it towards this goal. So, as I mentioned earlier, and I've talked about it throughout this video, I started the journey towards a house deposit to buy a house in South Africa for my relatives to live. And it's either we buy it outright, and we're looking at a budget of 55,000 to 65,000 UK pounds. And again, exchange rate works in our favour. It's going to take a long time to achieve that 55,000. Yeah, I'm breaking it down in tens, so I'm trying to work towards the first 10,000, and we've already got 2,000, and I want to add 1,000 into this by the end of the year. The reason it's not that much, or 1,000 plus, the reason it's not that much is because I've got to live. I've got to prioritize other things. I don't want to put so much pressure on me and neglect everything else. This is going to be a long term journey, unless I win the lottery, and then, you know, it'll be done. But it's a long journey, and I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one saving for it, but I want to contribute towards it. So I've got the total in mind. I want to first reach 55 and then potentially increase it to 65 if we can't find anything in that price range. But yeah, goal is to put 1,000. Ideally, I would love to have that at 5 by the end of the year. It's halfway through to 10, but it was just too much pressure on myself, and I do have other big goals that I need to achieve. So I decided to be realistic, and I think that's what 2025 has taught me. Be realistic, don't put so much pressure on myself, don't become anxious and overwhelmed with saving for a goal. Be realistic. So yeah, these numbers are guides. That's how I'm going to look at it. So 1,000 plus, but we've already got 2,000, so we are on our way. Okay guys, so those are my goals. Let's count up. I did say it would be 12,000 and 280, but I made some adjustments along the way. So let us calculate how much we need to save. So I said it would be 6,000 and where's my pen gone? Oh, there it is. I said it was 6,480 for short-term goals, but I'm not quite sure. Let's count that. It's 1,400 plus 100 plus 550 plus 1,580 plus 1,400 plus 1,350, 6,380. So it only went down by 100. But, you know, the less I have to save in 2026, the more room my budget will have. Okay, so that is short-term. Short-term goals, 6,380. That is a lot. I am so fortunate that I am able to work out a way to save this amount of money, because it is a lot of amount of money. 1,800, 2,800, and then 1,000. I'm going to do the minimum. So that's 5,600. So it only went down by 200, but still. So 5,600, if you can see that, plus 6,380. I need to save 11,980, but we are going to round up. I'm shaking the desk. So 11,980 to save in 2026, but we're going to round up to 12. So yeah, guys, 12,000 is the goal for 2026. That's a lot of money. And if you divide it by 12 months, that's almost £1,000 a month. I should be able to do that math. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I am going to really have to knuckle down, but I'm going to try and achieve it. I may be able to save on certain areas, For example, if quotes come in lower than expected for house renovations, for laser, for gadgets, all these 3 things then can feed into others, but these are my goals for 2026. And I'm going to try my hardest to achieve them. Please stay tuned for this upcoming journey as I work towards these goals. And let me know down in the comments what your goals are for 2026 and how you plan to achieve them. I would love to hear from you down in the comments, but thanks for sticking with me on this very long video, and I will speak to you guys later. Have a happy new year, and I will see you in 2026. Bye bye.